Yes, my people, good day. Customer states my maintenance light is on. Check it out for me, see what it needs so we can get this thing back on the road. All right, yes, Miss Mary, say less. Let's check this thing out. Right off the top, tires look good. Let me check the front end. Place your hands at 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock position and just shake gently. That's checking the tie rods. If there's any plate, there should be none. If it's tight, then place your hand at the 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and then we're checking for ball joint play there as well. Next, it's time to remove the wheel so we can get a closer look back there. But notice, you see that I'm not having any issue removing the lugs? So easy that was. We don't need no extra special like Chrysler. No cladded wheel lugs here. Wheel off. Taking a closer look now. What I'm looking for is the brake pads. I'm looking at the inner pad. I'm going to turn the rotor so you can see the pad separate from the rotor. That's the rotor that's turning. And if you look, this is the pad material, which is really thick, which is in good shape. And that's the backing, the metal part. That's the material starting there, ending there, and then that's rotor. So that is really thick. We don't need no brakes. Next thing I'm going to look for now is I'm going to make sure that the thickness of this inside pad is similar to the thickness on the outboard pad. So we're going to go to that because what happens is if the caliper slides, these are the slides, if they are sticking, which they are known to stick because it slides in and out, you would have probably the inboard pad worn down more than the outboard pad out here. Let's take a look. So this is the backing pad, the metal part, and then this is your pad material. And then you see the rotor. So it's really thick and it's also very similar to the one on the inside. So brake pad's good and we can assume that the caliper sides are not stuck. Next thing, while I'm here, I step back, I got the wheel off and then I'm looking. So I'm going in and I am looking at the CV axle. That's the CV axle you see right here, and this is the boot. And if you look around, you can see that it's dry under here. There's no grease. So that tells me that the boot has no holes or cuts in it, and that's the outer boot. And you can see it's dry there as well, no leaks, so we know that the boot is good. The boot can still be good and the axle still clicks, it's also possible, but you're just looking. So this is the outer tie rod end, so where the adjustment, the jam nut is, you do the adjustment for alignment. This is the inner tie rod end. Its joint is inside this boot. They call this a bellows boot, and it's connected to the rack and pinion. This is what steers the car, pulling in and out. When you turn the steering wheel, it either pulls this in and you go left, or it pushes this out and go right, vice versa on both sides. Sway bar end links again. These look good. They're not torn like that Chevy, and I didn't hear any clunky, but I can put my pry bar here and pry upon it and see if it makes a sound. All right. Boom. What we have? If they were bad, you would hear like a little clunk, or feel a little something, but they're tight. I didn't hear anything when I was driving, so we leave it at that. We're also looking at brake hoses. Look for any fraying or anything like that, especially where the rubber meets the metal. While I'm under here, I'm looking at these control arm bushings, seeing if they look even on both sides, even on the outside, even. So that would tell me that it's not moving in or out, and they look good. There are two of them. There's one here in the front. Here's the one in the back. And if you look, you can see some slight little tears on here. Not enough to cause it to fail, but definitely it's something to note down for the future if this is like a long time customer. So this is the steering knuckle. This is the strut. This is for your ABS sensor. Okay, all right. Here's one right here. And then boom, destination. All right, so I wasn't exaggerating. It is dry, which tells me that there's no leaks. Bam. See this guy right here? You know what this is? This is the temperature sensor. You see just hanging, dangling? Well, Toyota does design it like so, and it sits there like so. You see that? So I just go ahead and reattach that. It didn't come in for that, but still, you see it, so I start it back out. Everything look decent under here so far. All right, let me keep looking. One thing I look at is, if you notice under here, this is a transmission pan. And this is the plug. It's dry, which is good. Pan gasket around the transmission is nice and dry, which is a good thing. This is the engine oil pan. That's its drain plug right there. And I'm looking at its pan gasket, and it is also dry. That's the oil filter housing right there. Uses a cartridge style, so where they put it right next to the drain plug. Definitely can't knock them for that. But if you look further up, we have some oil leaky going on up in there. Looks like it's that plug up there that's leaking. CV boot look dry. Can get a little better look, the oil leak from here, so see that? It's not major, but it's there, it's present. I take a little look on the brake pad from this side. It looks thick. I'm still going to check the outboard, make sure that they look good. With Toyotas, honestly, man, you're not going to really find much things falling apart on these things, you know. Motor mounts look good. There's one there, and then there's one in the back. There it is right there. So you have a motor mount on each side. Fuel lines, fuel supply, return, vapor line, and brake line. Going all the way back. Fuel tank. See the neck here. This is plastic. Right? So just remember that. This is a catalytic converter. As you can tell, this is not a rust belt vehicle. There's not that much rust on here. This box that you see back there, they call that the evap canister. This is what gets destroyed when you keep topping off your fuel. Don't top off. Just when it click, done. That's it. That's the wheel speed sensor for the rear. This is the brake caliper. And then you see all this conglomeration here. They include the parking brake into the rear brake caliper. So this is the caliper, and then this is the parking brake cable. And then if you look, this is the brake hose. So when you put your foot on the brake to stop, hydraulic pressure comes into this line and stops you. And then when you stop to park, you pull the brake up. And this is what gets pulled this way, this way, this way. Metro, this way. Metro, this way. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that guy. Rear struts and springs, they look dry. So we work with that. On this side, same thing. Not looking bad. We're looking good. As I say, it's a Toyota, you know. Looking at the tire them look good. Nice and thick. Yeah, can't beat that. And it's thick in the front too. At this time now, what I do here is I spin the wheel just to listen for any rough rolling. And I don't hear anything. I hear a little sound, you know. But that's just the brake pad rubbing on the rotor. So that's good. Next thing I do all sides. And if you had suspected something, what you do is when you spin it, grab that. Spin it, grab that. Spin it, grab that. And if the wheel bearing was bad, you will feel it in your hand. You'll be like, go, 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 go. You feel it. But now it's good. Now that it's good and it's smooth, when I touch it, you don't feel nothing because it's just smooth. So I do that on the front and the back as well. Nothing is jumping out at me. It seems like it probably just need filter, oil and filter change, maybe an air filter. And we go from there. We're good, man. Everything sounds nice and smooth. It is a Toyota. There is really not much going on with that Toyota. All right, so we're going to lower it down and then look under the hood and see what's going on, and we go from there. We know we're doing an oil change. So we boom, pull that out as a reminder. Check the air filter, see what's going on there. We're going to clean out all that stuff right there. Don't really send that back out. I'll take a look at the battery. Even though it sounds and starts up nice, I just look to see like the date on the battery. Make sure so it's not no more than say 3 years old or something, and it says 2020 right there, you know. But it's starting up good. Probably clean that off, that little fuzz off of there as well. Little service and maintenance. So we say air filter. We know we're changing the oil. Let's take a look at the belt. See what the belt look like. The belt looks good. The belt look decent. I don't see any cracks on the belt or anything. The belt look decent, like it was replaced not too long ago. So we won't stress the belt. At this time, some people don't know how to check radiator hoses. This is how you check your radiator hoses. You go and you grab your radiator hose and you squeeze. If when you squeeze it, you feel it go crunchy, bad. Crystallize. Need new one. Good. Squeeze that one. Good. It does not feel crunchy or cracky. Even though them look kind of old, but they still have some life in them. VVTI to the rescue. Rest it right there. It looked like it was made to be there. Careful of these. We're not going to mess with them this go round because we're not putting no plugs. But these Toyota clips are notorious for breaking. They just always break. That is what they do best. Just break. Yeah, you press it, and as you press it, it go click, click. Press it, go click. So one tip and trick that I learned from a guy off of TikTok is he uses a small pick smaller than this, and he just goes from here and he pries it up like so. And he releases it in this manner instead of pushing down on here where it breaks. And him say it work out good for him. So props to that guy. On top of the coolant, it's a little bit low. We go refill the washer fluid. Yeah, and then maybe the cabin filter on the inside. Yeah, man, this thing is in good shape. It don't need much. It's a Toyota, so no surprise on that. You understand? So we are going to do the oil change, check the filter, everything, and then that's it. Yeah, man. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bless you. Yeah.